2021, Flexware Innovation held an executive-level event with our partners from Ubisense to showcase RTLS technology. The first half of this event featured a presentation by both Flexware and Ubisense, while the second half showed real-world applications of the technology. This video attempts to capture what took place during the demonstration portion of the event. We've added commentary and notations to this video to illustrate what took place during the demonstration. Our fictional automotive plant includes human resources, 3 assembly stations consisting of chassis assembly, wheel assembly, and steering wheel assembly, and finally, a warehouse. In our first scenario, Brad checks in at the beginning of his shift and chooses an RTLS tag, scanning it to associate it with himself during the shift. This particular tag will be worn on a lanyard. You'll notice immediately that Brad shows up on the live monitoring dashboard found within the Ubisense system. In our next scenario, Bryce steps into a work cell in which he has not been formally trained or certified. A system monitoring Bryce's position in this cell indicates that he is not certified. Notice the red warning light on this display. A supervisor steps in and trains Bryce on the equipment and processes in this work cell. The red indicator has changed to yellow because the system recognizes a supervisor is in proximity to Bryce. Following the training, the supervisor reports to HR that training was successfully completed. The system now recognizes Bryce is certified to work in the cell and indicates this with a green indicator light on the display system. The system now recognizes that Bryce is certified to work in this cell and indicates this with a green indicator light on the display screen. In our next use case, we'll demonstrate how a tool is only activated when in the correct work cell. The cell is indicated here on the floor by the blue tape. Notice that the worker is not yet in the work cell and that the tool indicator light is red, signifying that the tool is not currently functional. When the worker steps into the work cell, the tool is activated as evidenced by the green indicator light. The tool disables again when the worker steps out of the work cell. In this scenario, there's a series of steps required to complete a task. We will demonstrate how the tool will activate and deactivate depending upon the proper sequence being followed. Here, the worker steps into cell 2, but the tool is not active because the work process calls for work to be done first in work cell 1. Notice when he steps into work cell 1, the tool activates, and when he steps into work cell 2, the tool is now activated since the proper sequence of work was followed. Our next use case demonstrates smart devices displaying specific controls or reports based on the work area in which they are in. As the worker steps into the wheel assembly cell, the smart device shows a screen related to that cell. When he moves on to the next cell, in this case the steering wheel assembly, the smart device again changes to demonstrate controls or reports for this cell. In this scenario, materials are loaded onto an automated vehicle. The vehicle recognizes that the incorrect materials have been loaded and will not leave the station. Additional alerts would likely be put in place, informing users of the error. In our final use case, materials are correctly loaded and the automated vehicle determines where the specific materials are to be delivered. The vehicle is off to the steering wheel assembly work cell. These use cases were created to demonstrate a live, working RTLS system, transmitting location information real-time. To learn more about Flexware's experience implementing these systems, or to see our working RTLS lab in action, please visit flexwareinnovation.com/lift and complete the contact form at the bottom of the page.